just jealous. What we jealous of? Somebody said Nene was drunk yesterday. Who was that? Jay Farmer. I told y'all I was there. I was drunk too. That's why I didn't go live last night. I'm sorry. 5414. Hello.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey. Who this?
This is a new caller. My name is Chris. I just came upon your channel, and I am loving it so far.
Oh, thank you.
I am so glad. I'm so glad that I found somebody who kind of sees Kenya for who she is, just like her husband sees her for who she is. That's why he don't like her. Kenya is a big manipulator, and I think she had her husband fooled. The way that she acts in front of him is probably the way she's been acting all around. And another thing I want to say is, it is so obvious he doesn't want to be on those cameras. He looks so uncomfortable.
He's
every
very
time they're filming. He's like shaking, and I think he resents Kenya for that too. You know what I mean? Kind of forcing them into that situation. But I don't think Nene Leakes is going anywhere, first and foremost, because they still need her. They still need Nene. If you notice that, I think they were just kind of test the waters to see if they brought Kenya back, if she can carry the show, and so far she has not. Mm-hmm. The ratings have been the same. In fact, the highest rated episode was the one with Nene was in it, and that's a fact. So I don't think she's going anywhere yet. I think they were testing to see how it would go, but let's just be real. Majority of the episodes without Nene Leakes in them are boring. And even when Nene's not on it, all they're doing is talking about Nene. All the fans are doing is talking about Nene. And it may not necessarily be in the good way, but they're still talking about it.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Because my thing is, if Nene wasn't there, what would Kenya talk about?
But see, and that brings me to my next point. That is why she does not want to make up with Nene. She knows she has to keep that beef going with the queen of the show. And the producers knew that when they brought the Kenya baby back, okay, let's go back. Last season, when Cynthia was having that event, the whole thing that caused the whole...
Oh, yeah, the Seagrams. Yeah, the Seagrams event.
When Kenya came in, I think if Nene had paid her dust, she wouldn't even be back this season.
Yeah.
But that lit a flame when Nene was throwing that shade towards Kenya. That was like a bigger window of opportunity for
Let me add to that.
And she knows that.
I like to add to that. I feel like if she hadn't have made such a big deal about Cynthia backstabbing her, Cynthia wouldn't be back either. Because Cynthia was on her last legs.
But I said, Cynthia's been riding Nene's coattail ever since she's been on the show. You know, if Nene and Cynthia were not close, Cynthia would not have made it another season. Mm-hmm. Let's think about all the people that's been on the show. Cynthia does not have what it takes. She has the eye but not the teeth.
Right.
She does not have what it takes to sustain on her own. She just doesn't have the energy. So that's on Nene. But what was I say? Yeah, but I just feel like I don't think Nene's going anywhere. I do feel like Kenya is, like I told you, what I really don't like about Kenya, I mean, she gets away with a lot because she is beautiful, and I never would deny that, and I hate when her fans always say somebody hating on her. Nobody said that she wasn't good looking. That's not what it is, but I'm talking about on the inside.
Right.
What I like about her is that she preys on the weaker girl. I was really down with her. How she tried to treat Kim Phil, she would have never done that with anybody else. And Tanya, she goes after the weak one. She don't have that same energy with Nene. She doesn't have that same energy with Kandi. She knows who to mess with and who not to. She might play a little games and, she provokes them into making them look like the bad guy.
Right.
That's what she does. And I feel like I look back on the seasons before she came on, and I like the show so much better before she came. Since she's been on, like I said, it's been like Love and Hip Hop. She kind of like, to me, in my opinion, brings down the value of the show. It was all fun, shade, and cool. I mean, they reached their points, but since she's been on it, it's just been,
yeah, because it's been one like foul thing after another, like bringing that woman, the cookie lady, who just so happens to have a mugshot for fraud and all that, bringing her on to confront Tanya, who doesn't necessarily even have a peach. It's like, it's so much jealousy involved. And then the situation, here's why I gave Marlo the side eye. When Kenya tried to disrupt her wig event, and then Marlo calls her out about the wig, but she shades Tanya and doesn't confront Marlo. Like, she could not have confronted Marlo the same way she did Tanya. So it's like, I'm giving Marlo the side eye because Kenya tried to ruin your business, but then she's going after Tanya for allegedly trying to ruin her business. It's all hypocritical, and you looking at it like, wait a minute, but you did this to her. And yeah, it's interesting. Because I thought Marlo would have came back a little harder instead of like being cool with Kenya.
I think Marlo knew that it was just not going to give her what she wanted. When she came, like, she's so childish. And that's another thing I think Marc don't like about her. She's just so childish and immature. Mm-hmm. I mean, how are you going to tag somebody and not the husband? Like, she just does so many things that she would just go crazy if anybody did. Imagine if somebody brought a side chick to the table and said they were flirting with Marc. Or imagine if they tagged Marc and then they tagged Kim. You know what I mean? She would be talking all this women empowerment and all this stuff. She's just very sneaky, and she's vile. The way if she can't beat you, feel like she's a bit intimidated with you. She'll provoke you into doing something bad, like she did Portia. Like, either try to get you to get fired or get you to look like the bad guy, and then she throws rocks and hides her hands.
And truth be told, I feel like that's what she's kind of doing to Nene. Like, the same way she poked at Portia, and Portia dragged her across that stage. It feels like she's doing this to Nene this season, poking until it's gonna come to some sort of a head.
That's what she did at that fight with Cynthia.
Yeah,
Nene was ignoring her. She kept poking her in. She kept jumping in. She was going to have a scene, and she didn't stop until she did. She kept on poking Nene until she got out of Nene what she wanted. Right. And see, the way she does that, she would have sat there and Nene would have popped her. Like, oh my God, then went and fouled her. But the way she moves, it's just dangerous. There's nothing fun shade about her. She's very sneaky. I think she's a very unhappy and bitter person. Nobody who's happy with their marriage and their relationship is going to go out of their way to try to disrupt anybody else.
Right.
Relationship. And she's been doing that since she got on. And now supposedly she got what she wanted out of life, and she's still miserable. Well, she's not happy. And I think she's the common denominator because everybody she's bringing on the show ends up can't stand her. All her men can't stand her. They, once they find out what kind of person she is, they don't like her. And I for the life of me, don't see what Kandi sees in her. Oh. Cynthia, I'm starting to see her for who she is, but Kandi, I just don't get it. Like, is she scared of her? Does Kenya have something on her? Because why is she so up her ass?
I feel like Kandi needs Kenya as much as Kenya needs Kandi. Because think about it. If it wasn't for Kenya and the shade that Kandi throws on her behalf, nobody would be talking about Kandi. Nobody. Like, Kandi's trying to promote her daughter's, event. She's trying to promote her son. She's trying to, her surrogacy thing. Like, they done had the baby. What else is there to talk about? Her and Todd, pretending like they got money conflicts or whatever. Nobody's really paying attention to Kandi like that unless she's involved in this messiness between Kenya and Nene.
She don't like Nene. I don't care what nobody says.
She doesn't.
Kandi, I don't know what it is. She's the type of person to hold a grudge to the end.
Uh-huh.
She does not like like Nene at all. And she keeps. They're gonna. I hope they don't, but I think they do. I don't know. Nene gonna have to bring back that season 1 and season 2 and just check them all because they just getting that.
Wow.
Oh, Kandi just. She just really disappoints me. Like, I thought she was so much different, and the way she's been thinking about Kenya through all the wrongs and not, Nene would never get away with even a fraction of that stuff that Kenya gets away with.
Right.
And not just with the cast members, but with the viewers. This hate train towards Nene is just so unfair. Like, why, by the next episode, Kenya's forgiven for everything. She steps in looking all free and everybody forgets everything. Like, they don't hold her accountable for anything.
That's
the
true.
Fans hardly they'll be mad at her. But she gets a lot of passes. Nene does one of the things, and the comments blow up.
Right.
Everybody's,
But, you got to think about it. Nene's person. And, I feel like, people keep comparing the two of them because they both have strong personalities. And they both are, two sides of the same coin sometimes. You know what I mean? But Kenya goes above and beyond. Like, yeah, she has a strong personality, yeah. But Kenya does actions, to go along with her evilness, whereas Nene might just throw some slick shade or whatever. She don't go above and beyond and bringing these thoughts on to like, you know, ruin a marriage and all that kind of thing. So it's interesting to see them both, but I would love to see them both you know, actually communicate. So I, you know, hopefully.
Well, that's why I said I think there's a difference in their behaviors, because I see Nene sometimes she just has that attitude or diva. I just don't get the same maliciousness that I get from her, like I get from Kenya.
Right.
And it's just very sneaky in the way she moves, like, and she always throwing rocks on her head. I know what to expect from Nene. Kenya, on the other hand, you never know what she's plotting.
Never.
You know, it's just she's always up to something. But as I said, to wrap it up, I don't think Nene's going anywhere just yet.
Okay.
Like I said, I think they were testing the waters and seeing what Kenya can do. And 99% of Kenya's interesting part of Kenya revolves around Nene.
It
so
does.
if they better know that, they got to keep Nene around to keep the beef interested with Kenya anyway, because Tanya versus Kenya, that's not going to bring nothing. Kenya's not going to come for everybody else because she can't take down nobody else. And that's why, and that's another reason why she's going to put on Nene's neck.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
well,
she's on the fence with that. She's going to keep arguing with Nene as long as she's on the fence. Maybe a couple of seasons ago, she would have been able to forgive Nene, but not that she get her check back. But I